the early lines for NFL Week 14. If you have a question, if you want to engage with us, if you've got picks of your own, please reach out to us, join the conversation at Sports Fumble on Twitter, at Butt Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Butt Fumble Sports is a new sports content network that's made for real sports fans. We believe every fan can be on-air talent. Adam, Dennis, Lope, you guys are living examples of it. We so appreciate you joining us and the great analysis that they are providing. So please tweet out to others, engage with us. We want you to join this great community that we're building. We move on to the next game in our Sunday 1 p.m. window, a game that isn't as intriguing as it could have been. The 8-4 Baltimore Ravens without Lamar Jackson go up against the rival 5-7 Pittsburgh Steelers. This game is going to be on CBS. Because of Lamar Jackson's injury, the Steelers are a 3-point favorite at home, and the over-under set at 37 points. Some gambling trends for you. The Ravens are 2-5 against the spread in the last 7 meetings between the two teams. The Steelers are 5-2-1 against the spread in their last 8 home games. The underdog is 19-6-3 against the spread in the last 28 meetings between the Ravens and the Steelers. I know that's a larger sample size. The under is 7-2 in the Ravens' last 9 games overall, and the under is 7-2 in the Steelers' last 9 home games. Adam, what are your thoughts on this game between the Ravens and Steelers?
Yeah, first glance in this game, obviously Lamar Jackson be out is massive, possibly 1 to 3 weeks with that strained PCL muscle. Pittsburgh's playing a lot better. They won 3 of the last 4. Now they're back at home. I think I wasn't impressed with winning Atlanta last week. I mean, obviously Kenny Pickett's making minimal mistakes, but Atlanta does play somewhat decent at home. So I think any win that Pittsburgh can get right now, I think is just adding to their confidence. They are 7th in the league against the rush. With Baltimore, that's, with Huntley coming in now, trying to stop that, make him throw the football. But in all honesty, I just don't like this game all around. If you take a look at the arrows point to Pittsburgh. If you take a look at Baltimore's injury report this week, it is just riddled. They have guys left and right that are questionable or doubtful for this game. So Baltimore's limping into this football game. At Pittsburgh minus 2.5, I guess I give a slight lean on Pittsburgh on this one, but I'm just going to stay away from the line. I couldn't see betting this up to 38 or 39, taking the points and playing the under in this one, because I think Baltimore's defense still can contain Pittsburgh to a reasonable number, around 17 points. But I think Baltimore's really going to struggle offensively. So my play on this one is going to be buying the points up to 38.5 or 39 and playing the under.
Dennis, what are your thoughts on this one?
Of all the QBs and the running backs, none of them really interest me for purposes of DFS. If there is one player I might take a look at, it would be Freiermuth. If you have a PPR league, he's actually ranked 4th overall, which might be surprising to folks. He's actually currently projected to score more points than Najee Harris. So in terms of any potential candidates, he's probably the only one that might interest me.
Love that play. Freiermuth has become a consistent target. You can't say the same about George Pickens. Last week, I had high expectations for Pickens. I believe he only had 1 catch for 2 yards. He's been complaining about his usage. We'll see if that passing game for the Steelers looks a little bit better this week. I expected them to do better against the Falcons, but now they go up against a Ravens defense that hasn't been great statistically. Lope, what are your thoughts for this game?
I really like the Steelers on the money line for sure. The spread is a little scary, but I just think that the Ravens were too Lamar Jackson heavy, and now I think switching over, and this is a Steelers defense that's gotten way better since TJ Watt's come in. So I would go there. The under 37 is definitely in play, but like Adam said, probably buy that up a little bit, but that should be good to hit. I don't see a whole lot of offense in this game.
Much like Adam and much like Lope, the Butt Fumble Sports pick for this one is the under 38.5 after you buy a 1.5. I agree with everybody, especially since we've seen TJ Watt come back. This Steelers defense is much better than it was for that first 4 or 5 week stretch of the early part of the season. You combine that with the fact that there's no Lamar Jackson. I don't see where the Ravens are going to get their points. One player I don't like in fantasy this week is Mark Andrews. You have to expect that the Steelers are just going to completely take him away and force the Ravens to do something else on offense. But I really like the under in this game. I do like Pittsburgh on the money line. We're seeing something that we seem to every year. Mike Tomlin find a way to get to 500. And there are times throughout the season where you go, there's no way He'll probably end up with a losing record, but they find ways to win games over the course of the year, whether it's because of injuries on the opposing teams or whether it's because of his own coaching. But I think the Steelers are going to win this game. I am considering taking Baltimore to cover after you buy 1.5. That's Baltimore plus 4.5. I'm considering that only because I have a lot of respect for John Harbaugh, but for a lot of reasons, I probably won't put my money down on that until later in the week when I think the public will probably make that an easier bet in my favor. But for now, the Butt Fumble Sports pick of the game is under 38.5 and Pittsburgh on the money line. Appreciate all of you joining us on Twitter Space, at Sports Fumble on Twitter, and at Butt Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. The next game that we have for you is a